Manchester City versus Arsenal, arguably a Premier League title decider. And today we're building our ultimate combined 11 with the GOAT of Arsenal TikTok. Mr. Rory Tucks Football is here. Welcome, Rory. Thank you very much for coming on, my guy.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I'm excited and nervous.
If you are enjoying the content, make sure to smash the like. Check out Rory. Link is in the description. Obviously, I know you already follow him on TikTok, but check him out on YouTube as well. Does some great lives. So make sure to check him out, and let's get into it.
Ederson or Raya?
Two great goalkeepers that can play out of the back pretty damn well. I think it's really tight. Rory, I'd like to hear your opinion on this one. I don't know which way I'm leaning to.
Yeah, I think it is tight. I think Raya's come on unbelievably well as the season's gone on, and especially since like the start of 2024, I think he's settled in. And I mean, like, they are both brilliant on the ball. Raya is like a midfielder. I don't know if you saw that clip of him doing the rondo with the Spanish team.
That was insane.
Yeah, like, he is. And it is close. The one reason I think I would actually go Raya over Ederson right now is that I feel like Ederson's just got those moments in him where he just loses his head. And I think Raya's a bit more composed.
Definitely, Raya's a better shot stopper. Ederson's a little bit better, but I think Raya's a bit of a better all-rounder. Obviously, when he came up with two humongous penalty saves against Porto to get you through to the quarters as well, it proves that he is a big game player and that Arteta made the right decision. And that was the game after Ramsdale made an awful mistake against Brentford. So, yeah, I think I am shading towards Raya if I had to pick one, because I know some of the other positions I could definitely sway Rory. So I'll give you Raya. Are we going with Raya as our goalkeeper?
You're expecting a favour off me now in the future.
I'm expecting a couple of favours, my man.
I am sure.
Walker or White?
Kyle Walker's not had his best season. Benny Blanco's been excellent, but for me, I still think he's a little bit of a liability at right back. Don't get me wrong, he's good. I wasn't happy that he rejected England. I think that's a story for another day. It's tight. Based on this season, it's tight. Do you agree with that, Rory?
I think it is tight. I do think it's tight. Like you said, I think Walker's not had his best season. I think Ben White's been absolutely fantastic for Arsenal, especially since Dubai. I think after Dubai, he needed a rest and a break. But yeah, he's come back, and he's a massive player for us.
Do you think, though, Ben White would genuinely get in the City team at right back? Like, in a big game, when, for example, City and Arsenal get into that stage now of playing Mbappe and, like, Vinicius. Kyle's marked them both out comfortably in both of those games, and we've progressed. Yes. Could Benny Blanco do the same?
No, he couldn't, and I wouldn't put him in the Man City team, because I think a massive part of the way Man City play is reliant on Kyle Walker's recovery pace as basically the last ditch. And you rely on that more probably than you should. I also don't think Kyle Walker gets into the Arsenal team, so it's a tricky one. I wouldn't play Walker ahead of Ben White, because we rely on Ben White's attacking play, which Kyle Walker just doesn't have in his locker. I would accept giving you Kyle Walker based on what you said in terms of he's marked Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. out of games, and he will need to do the same against Martinelli. And yeah, I think, yeah, I'll just about give it to you.
Oh, just about. Oh, my days. Is it going to be one of those days? I think it's got to be Walker. And if Rory, you're going to give me this one.
Just.
Kyle Walker makes the right back. But according to Rory, only just. I think it's a bit of a bigger gap.
Diaz or Gabriel?
Ruben Diaz on number 3. He's the greatest centre-back in Prem history. Now, I'm not going to be that biased, but I do love a bit of Ruben Diaz. Team of the year, Ruben Diaz. Don't see Gabriel making the team of the year. One of our most important players when he plays. A leader in that back. But Gabriel this season's been wicked, I do have to say. I've always said Gabriel's a complete liability in that Arsenal defence. Well, this season, he's been scoring from set pieces. He looks confident. I think that says a lot about the centre-back that you're playing alongside with, and we'll come to that in the next one. But Rory, have you been impressed with Gabriel as much as I have?
I have. Do you know what? I saw this from Gabriel last season, and it's taken time for people to start coming around to the idea of, or to the realization of how good Gabriel is. I think he just got labelled, and some of it was fair. When he joined the Premier League, he did have that bozo mistake in him, and he got labelled with it, and it's taken a long time to shake it. And even if like he'd make one mistake in a season, and people would be like, "Oh, see, he's still got that problem." But he's been an absolute monster for us this season. He's so reliable, and I just love him, and I think he's right up there with Saliba as well. I know a lot of people think that Saliba's like the guy, and that Gabriel's really good, but kind of relies on Saliba. But I think they rely on each other kind of equally, and between them, we've got the best defense in the Premier League. So
I do think you're right. I do think they rely on them both equally, but it also says a lot about the confidence of a player when you're not playing alongside Mustafi, you're playing alongside flipping William Saliba, who's one of the best centre-backs in world football, in my opinion. He's that good. But the thing is with Ruben Dias, since he's come in, the City defence was leaking a lot of goals. With the exception of 2018, the City defence, especially in 2019, were leaking a lot of goals. And since Ruben Dias has come in, he's taken that defence, in which couldn't win the European Cup, to the next level. 2 semi-finals and a final in the last 3 years. Some of the City defence is just fantastic. I know Arsenal got a better defence this season in the Prem, but I do think Dias would make Arsenal's team. I honestly do.
Yeah, I hear it. But I think I've got to hold firm on Gabriel for this one. I really do. I think he's better, and I think this season, I hear what you're saying about Dias and how he transformed that City defence, but I think this season you've been quite leaky.
If I give Rory this one, right, I know I'm going to get what? I know I have that wild card to hold during the attacker's phase.
You keep it in the
and
back pocket.
I know which one I'm going to use it on as well. So you'll have to find out later in the video, so make sure to watch till the end and hit that like button as well. I'll give you Gabriel. I'll give you Gabriel based on how good he's been in the Premier League this season. Let's see how he does in the Champions League. I'll give you Gabriel, okay? Let's move on.
Stones or Saliba?
I love him. I love John Stones. I think he's amazing. I think he's fantastic. One of the most versatile centre-backs in the Premier League. And it's not as far away as a lot of you guys will think. But Saliba's better. He is, at the end of the day. Rory, how good is William Saliba?
Yeah, he's unbelievable. Absolutely. For his age, the maturity that he shows, he leads that back line, and just the power, the pace, the reading of the game. He's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So I'm very happy that we've got a centre-back pairing of Gabriel and Saliba, which I think is the best centre-back pairing in the league.
Ake or Kiwior?
Kiwior's been good. Don't get me wrong. Nathan Ake is a treble winner, playing at left-back, bit out of position, but he's adapted it into his own, and there's a lack of decent left-backs in this league at the moment. But yeah, it's got to be Ake, right?
Yeah, it does. It does have to be Ake. I mean, like you said, it's weird. The lack of left-backs in the league. When you think realistically, most of this season, Arsenal have been playing Kiwior, who's a centre-back really by trade, at left-back. You've pretty much been playing centre-backs at left-back all season.
Ake and Gabriel, yeah.
Yeah, Liverpool have... Joe Gomez has looked decent at left-back for Liverpool. He's played there a fair bit. It's weird. There is a real lack of traditional left-backs. But yeah, I'd give you Ake. I think last season, I remember Ake dealt with Saka incredibly well.
Yeah, he did.
So yeah, you can have
Rodri or Jorginho?
Yeah, this ain't a difficult one. It's the best CDM in the world, and it's not even a question. It's Rodri. Come on, Rory. Let's box it.
Yeah. I mean, I think you've bottled it by going Rodri against Jorginho rather than Rodri against Rice, because I think you know what would have happened if you'd done that. But
I know what would have happened. I would have taken Rodri because he's the best CDM in the world. Rice is the second best. Rice is the second best. It's not even a debate. Rodri is the best. Rice is the second best.
Well, this season, I beg to differ. But the argument is Rodri against Jorginho. Yeah.
I mean, it's not me that's bottled it. It's Arteta, because he's playing Rice at a centre mid and not Rodri, not in a Rodri position. He's playing Jorginho sitting in front of the back four. So we're only comparing what's on the team sheet.
Yeah. I mean, I think against you, they'll kind of act as a double pivot. I think in the smaller games, Jorginho sits and Rice can go forwards, and he just presses a lot more from the front. But I think against you, it will be it'll be interesting. We've kind of seen them against Liverpool. They played as a double pivot, but yeah, you can have Rodri,
Bernardo, or Rice.
Before Rory says that I'm taking Declan Rice, I want to point out how big Bernardo Silva is in the big games. He is, in my opinion, the most underrated player in world football. 2 goals against Real Madrid in the semi-final. The greatest game in Premier League history, City versus Liverpool, 2-1 in 2019. Man of the match performance from Bernardo Silva. Ran that midfield ragged. Every big game, he is there. Do not rule out Bernardo Silva as quick as the eye can be. Yes, Rice has been better this season. Not saying he isn't. Bernardo Silva's still been super consistent. But Bernardo Silva is he's just so good and underrated. And I love the fact that he's underrated because everybody forgets about him and then he goes and runs a big game again. But Rice has been better this season. Rory, agree?
Yeah. Look, I'm not going to take away from Bernardo Silva at all. I think you're spot on. I think he's massively underrated, and I think he's not, in a way, he's not suited to combined 11s, because I think if you were making an 11, you'd find a way. For a game like this, a big game, you'd find a way of getting Bernardo Silva in.
Yeah,
I don't think you can put him in as the midfielder ahead of Rice. But, you played him when you came to the Emirates last season. He was at left back, and he still didn't look that bad. He could play off the right, off the left, in the midfield. Massive player, but I think Rice is arguably the Premier League player of the season so far, or at least kind of up in the top 3. So, yeah, it would be... We couldn't leave him out. We couldn't leave him out.
Like you've been saying, I am going to give you Declan Rice on this one. I hate to not include Bernardo Silva, but nobody can disrespect Bernardo Silva because of how good he is, and he will have a good game against Arsenal on Sunday. It's pretty much guaranteed. But Rice, like you said, has been one of the best. It's been the best signing this season. I can't believe people said Soboslai was a better signing than Rice. Oh, flipping out.
Yeah.
And absolute disgraceful.
KDB or Odegaard.
No one can debate. Nobody can deliberate. It's, of course, my ginger brother, KDB, the greatest midfielder in the history of the Premier League. Not even a debate. But I do want to say, Martin Odegaard gives me ginger brother vibes. When I watch him, some of the balls that he produces, very similar to KDB. Arguably, one of the best midfielders Arsenal have had for a very, very long time. And I think he'd be a great Kevin replacement. City fans, do you agree with me? Let me know. Rory, I know you won't part with him from Arsenal. You want to see him there forever. But
you're getting nowhere near him.
Ginger Brother takes it, but Odegaard is class, in my opinion.
Yeah, bold claim there about De Bruyne being the best midfielder in Premier League history.
He is. He is.
That's another debate for another day. But no, look, I think this season Odegaard's got a shout, but I feel like De Bruyne's name is probably going to carry the weight in this one.
But remember, yes, KDB's been injured for a long periods of this season. And the minute that he came back, a goal and an assist against Newcastle in a vital 3-2 last-second win. Countless assists. Him and Haaland are starting to reconnect again. But the issue is he injured? Is he not? We don't know. But Odegaard this season has been magnificent, I do have to say. I really like watching him.
KDB got hooked against Liverpool, right? KDB got hooked?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brought on Kovacic to get a bit more control in the midfield.
Agreed. But we're still not taking this place away from a ginger brother. Like, Odegaard is great.
Fine.
No, and this ain't even a wild card. It has to be my ginger brother KDB. Come on, Rory. Has to be.
I'll allow it. On your own channel, it would be, it would be unfair to take him away from you. But
too right. But are we saying if we did it on yours, you're having him?
I'd put up a bigger fight.
Doku or Martinelli?
Jeremy Doku's good. He's good. He's not great. He's good. He's brilliant when he accelerates with the ball, but when it comes to a final finish, I think he struggles. But he's under the best manager in the world, so he can get that experience that he needs, get what he needs to do. Grealish took a year to be able to develop into what he is. I think we're missing him heavily. Hope he's available for this game, but I think it's going to be Doku that starts. He's explosive, missing a final product. Martinelli's ace. Simple as that. He takes it. Rory, I think you were going to agree here, aren't you?
Yeah, I agree. Like you said, I think Doku's an exciting player, but his end product is poor, and I think it's been quite damaging to City and particularly to Haaland this season, who's so reliant on the final ball. And yeah, Doku's not quite there yet. Like you said, he'll develop for sure. I know some Arsenal players have felt like, or some Arsenal fans have felt like we've not got as much out of Martinelli this season, but he has stepped up in the big games still, scored the winner against you, scored the winner against Liverpool. Deflection. So yeah, he's a big game player.
Deflection and lucky goal, but okay.
Brilliant strike. And
the Liverpool one was very lucky, but
yeah, he forced the error.
Oh yeah,
that's what he did.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I still think he's better than Jeremy Doku. Yeah. Give Doku time, but Martinelli, you can't. You still. I know he's not been as good as last season, but you still can't allow him to be unmarked. He'll still cause you problems, and he's still very exciting. So we'll go with Martinelli. Rory, I think that's a joint combined decision, isn't it?
Foden or Saka?
This is the one that we're going to spend the most amount of time on because Rory's not going to give it me, but this is why I've saved the wild card. But to be honest, if Rory talks football like he does and talks sense, he should know. Phil Foden is amazing. He's unbelievable. As is Bukayo Saka. He is amazing as well. Both left-footed wizards. Both have got pearls of a left foot and know how to score goals from ridiculous angles and distances. They're both incredible. Saka's a talent. Foden's a talent. But we have to go on how much Phil Foden has impacted a treble-winning City team. Yes, Saka's impacted Arsenal, but they haven't won anything. I'm sorry, Rory, you haven't. Other than the Community Shield, we have to take Foden, in my opinion. And this is where I'm standing with my guard up. But I want to hear what Rory has to say about this one.
No, you can't have Foden off the right. Listen, I agree with what you're saying about how good Foden is. I massively rate him. And if you want to put him through the middle, if you wanted to switch him out for... I'd let you switch him out for De Bruyne if you wanted to. Yeah, but versatility isn't always a benefit in terms of...
It is, though.
I'd rather
for City's team, it is.
But this isn't for City's team. This is for a combined 11. And Bukayo Saka is a better right winger. And that's the position that we're going for. There is no doubt about it that Bukayo Saka off the right-hand side is better than Phil Foden off the right-hand side. We don't need another central player. And look, I don't rate Gareth Southgate, but he is spot on with his observation that Bukayo Saka should consistently play off the right-hand side. And I think we've seen the international break just gone. Were you that impressed by Foden? Because I wasn't.
Well, I wasn't impressed by England. I wasn't impressed by anybody.
Yeah,
I wasn't impressed by Bellingham.
There. That's why. He wasn't there.
It doesn't matter. Harry Kane wasn't there. And he's the sole reason why England actually score goals. Yes, Saka is a great player. I think he's phenomenal. And he's one of the best right wingers. But in terms of a combined 11, who would you want in that position to take up that ball and go on mazy runs and be able to pop up in different positions in this team? It has to be Phil Foden, and everything that he's won as well. Saka's won nothing. Yeah, but and it doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter who he's playing for.
But if Foden had been at Arsenal's academy and Saka had been at City's academy, they'd have won the opposite amount of things.
It doesn't matter because that's not happened. Foden may have helped Arsenal win the Premier League last year. Saka caved in the big moments. He did. The whole Arsenal team crumbled due to inexperience.
Your argument about trophies, I just can't be having it because by that logic, well, we'll put Calvin Phillips ahead of Declan Rice because Calvin Phillips won. But he's a treble winner.
No, but he didn't play.
Yeah, but Saka's played more than Foden, especially for England. So
the thing is, Arteta played. I'll tell you why that is a fact. Because no matter how Arsenal were doing, Saka always played, and he was generally at the end of the season physically fatigued. He didn't get any injuries. He played every game, and I think that's wrong from Arteta, and this season he sorted that out. When you're winning, for example, when you beat Lens at home, Saka came off the pitch. Last season that would have happened, he would have played the full 90 minutes. When you played Sporting Club de Portugal, in which I was there, why did Saka play every single bit of the match, including extra time, when take him off, put somebody else on, save him for the Premier League game that he had on Sunday that he didn't win against West Ham, and why did he play? So that's why he played the full durations. But the thing is, Foden, man, he has to play. He has to get in this team. It's as simple as that.
But not off the right-hand side. Off the right, the right winger has to be Saka. More goals, more assists in fewer games in the Premier League this season. He has to be the right winger. I'll give you your wild card, by the way. There's another position here that there's going to be a big argument about.
What, the striker?
Yeah. So you might need your wild card for that one.
No.
You might need your wild card for that one.
No, I'm using it here. I'm using it here. I'm using it here. I'm using it here. Foden has to... There is no doubting that every Arsenal fan is going to disagree. But every City fan, it's got to be Foden.
Listen, it's your channel. It's your channel. You can pull rank. But let it be known. Let it be known. I did not do this willingly.
Well, I know that. But Foden, after one of the longest debates, is going to make it. And I'm not even going to ask Rory because he's probably going to disagree again. But Foden, let's move on. Let's move on. Striker.
Haaland or Havertz?
We had to do a big debate because Foden, Saka, it's tough. But for me, Foden takes it. But anyway, time to move on to the striker. Havertz versus Haaland. Go on, Rory. I'll let you go first on this one because apparently it's going to be close.
Listen, I think this is...
I'm listening.
I think this is closer than people make out. Genuinely, I do think it's closer than people make out. Havertz is so much more of a team player. Havertz adds so much more to the team than Erling Haaland does, who I think massively relies on the players around him. Don't get me wrong. You know, the strength, the power that he has when he runs in behind, there are very few players capable of doing the same, and his finishing generally is decent, although he does miss a lot of big chances. Can't rule out Kai Havertz in this. I saw Haaland missed another penalty for Norway as well, which was, not very good. Kai Havertz, of course, scored his penalty in the Champions League recently. Scored again on international duty. I want to make sure that we don't do a disservice to Kai Havertz. I will allow you to have Erling Haaland, but I just wanted to put the case for Kai Havertz forward.
I'll give you the case. The revelation's been great. I don't like him because he broke my heart in Porto.
Yeah.
Still haunts me.
He's going to do it again.
Day. Horrible trip. What, at Wembley?
At the Etihad.
Well, we can't play each other there, fortunately. It'll be in the semi if it happens. I'd rather go out in the semi than the final. Obviously, you guys have lost the final as well. It's hurtful. Unfortunately, Kai Havertz haunts me as much as Giuliano Belletti haunts you.
Yeah.
It's just one of those ones. It's just horrible, horrible, horrible. But I have to say, he's good to watch. I always rated him before the game in Porto at Leverkusen. I had his team of the season in FIFA 19. Oh my days, what a card that was. Five star. That was just disgusting. There's a small case, not a strong case. There's a small case for Havertz. He's been the player over the course of this international break that I've most been impressed with. I think the Germany team was ruled out a lot up until I saw them win at France. That's a great result for them. And he scored in that game as well.
Yeah.
And he's been great for Arsenal. Everyone's saying your chance, 60 million down the drain. And Kai Havertz is scoring again and again. So we're not going to rule him out totally, but now I am. I'm going to rule him out because Erling Haaland has been injured for 3 months and he's still the Premier League top goal scorer and nobody's coming close. He's not had Kevin De Bruyne, my ginger brother, assisting him throughout the whole year, and he's the best striker in the world, in my opinion. It has to be Haaland, but there's no disrespect on Havertz, even though even saying his name really hurts me. It's really painful, man.
Yeah. Do you think Haaland's stat pads in small games?
A little, but I still think he takes the place. He has to.
He does.
Whether he stat pads or not, you've got to be there to score them, and he is. Like Havertz, any player would do the same. If me and you were footballers, we'd do the same. We'd love to get our goal tally up, to win awards. He should have won the Ballon d'Or. You know what I mean? It's got to be Haaland, right?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Let's go! Sunday is the big game. A humongous game. Arsenal's record at the Etihad is absolutely trash. We love playing against the Gooners at the Etihad. Rory, what's your score prediction?
I am going for 1-1. Going for a 1-1 draw.
That'd be a good result for you guys.
Yeah, we take it. I just think defensively, we've just kind of had your number this season. 2 games. We've, apart from one player who doesn't play for your club anymore in Cole Palmer, you've really struggled to score against us.
Yeah, we did. In the Community Shield, I think it was a full-strength Arsenal team versus a half-strength City team. I think De Bruyne played, and that was it, basically. But you got the win. You got the win. Whether you left it late or not, you got the win.
We did.
And then you won at the Emirates. So it's about time that we won one. And if there's a Champions League semi-final as well, it'd be good to beat Arsenal going into that. I think City are going to win this game. I think if we score early, it could be a goal fest like last year. But if we keep Arsenal, if Arsenal keep us out, I think that's going to be the pinnacle of this game. If Arsenal score early, City score early, then we're going to win 4-5. Honestly, I think we will. I genuinely do. Like last year, it was just we could have scored 6s, 7s last year. Honestly, Rory, we could have.
Yeah,
I know we scored 4, but we could have scored way more.
Yeah, but we're not rocking up with Rob Holding this year.
No, true. But even with Saliba there, I just think that the momentum and the fact that Arsenal really struggle at the Etihad, and if we get 2 early goals, God knows what's going to happen. But I don't think we're going to get an early goal. I think it's going to be close. I'm going to go with a 2-1 City win. I think City will score first, Arsenal will equalise, and then it'll be a late goal in the second half, like that game against Liverpool back in 2019 that we were talking about. I'll go 2-1. I think it'd be close. But if we get that early goal, that'd be great. Right, there we go, guys. Do you agree with our combined 11? Should Bukayo Saka have made it in? Should Phil Foden have made it in? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you very much for Rory for coming on. You've been great. Appreciate you coming on.
You're welcome. Yeah, not sure I can live that Saka one down, but hey, I guess we have to.
Make sure to check him out on YouTube, guys. He is nearly at 10,000 subscribers, only 1,500 off, so make sure to go and check him out. He does insane Arsenal lives. A fair few of you will be gooners that are not subscribed, so make sure to check him out. And, of course, on TikTok as well, but you'll already be following on there because he's pretty much got the TikTok universe by the scruff of the neck. So if you guys have enjoyed, smash the like, hit that big red subscribe button, check out Rory as well, link in the description. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.